wave.
So tonight's topic is gonna be video games. Every one of us probably has played games. Depends on the PC, PlayStation, Xbox, no matter what you choose. Most of us have probably played a game once in their life. What I'm here to talk about today is how games have, say, changed from time to time. You know, maybe say my favorite games from the past. You know, I'm just 15, so there's not like many games I could choose from because like I am only a teen and I like never played NES, never played Sega Genesis, never played Atari 2600. But I have looked on it and I've heard many things about it. I watch AVGen because he's a master of that. He has always all these things, and he showed me what all games were in the 70s and 80s and 90s, and I was like, wow, amazing. So let me just start off with saying that I am a gamer. Yes, I'm a gamer. Sometimes these days I usually just play like Call of Duty, maybe Killzone, maybe some Grand Theft Auto, Need for Speed, Midnight Club, and games like that. You know, Skyrim as well, of course. I love Skyrim. Anyway, I just want to talk about how games have changed since the time when I was a child, when I first got my PS2. It was, I think, year 2004 when I first got my PS2. I came with two games called Juiced and Call of Duty 2005. That time, looking back now, the graphics compared to those days now are completely a bit different in a bad way, not bad or good, I don't know. But I gotta say that I can't compare those games that much because they're like, without them, or the games like from Atari and NES, all those type of games, they didn't exist. Games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, let's say Need for Speed wouldn't exist because there's a lot of games that NES and Atari, all those types of consoles created. So, but then I usually didn't care about the graphics. I just did not care about the graphics. All I care about is that game, and if it's fun, I'm gonna keep playing it. I don't care about what the graphics are, what's the score, what's the rating of it. I'm just gonna play it if I like it. I didn't care what people thought of. At that time I had adventure games and card games because I was in mad love for card games back then, and I still am. I just loved card games. If there was any card game I could get in the shop, I would definitely get it because I just love card games. Everything about it was so much fun. Of course, I loved adventure games as well. Back then I was younger, I used to play Rayman 3, Rayman 2, and Rayman 1. All those two games I played on my PS2, and I love those games, all of them. Midnight Club 2 was my favorite card game to that day, and it still is. I even have songs from the game, so that reminds me of my childhood. So anytime I hear the music from that game, it just reminds me of the times when everything was easier, that I didn't have to make like choices to do, and I wasn't worried about a lot of things. Life was easy back then. When I was younger, I did play shooter games. My favorite shooter game was Killzone, and it still is now. Killzone was my first FPS I've ever touched or even played on my PS2 or any console ever. When I first played the game, I didn't find something so cool about it until I was like a year after, when I figured it out. Like, not figured out, like when I understood the game completely. Took me a couple of times to replay the game to realize, because like there's 4 people you can play with later on. So, like tried all of them. I was like, wow, this game is amazing. But my favorite game, like a free world type of game, I would say would be Grand Theft Auto, because it was back then the awesomest game ever played. I would stick to San Andreas because that was my favorite game of them all. I just basically my brain just like when I found out about that game. I was like, wow, so many things to do. I was astounded by how amazing that game was. I could do anything to get that game. I played it on a PC as well, sometimes on a multiplayer when I could at my friend's house. It was pretty cool. I was like, but what's the real deal? I want to play on my PS2 now. I want to get that game as fast as I possibly can. And I only got it until I was like 10, 11, 12 when I moved here. So that was not so long ago when I first played the game for real on the PS2. But these days, games have changed a lot. Most games these days are about the graphics now. More about the graphics, less about the gameplay. I'm not saying they're bad. Look at Skyrim. And that game is amazing with graphics and gameplay. That's amazing. They're like Elder Scrolls games are amazing. Without games, this world would be kind of boring. You know, there's this music and there's television and everything, but sometimes you just need video games just to relax and to clear your mind off of things like school and things. You just need those video games. Maybe you're gonna get angry about playing Call of Duty because you're like some camper noob just keeps killing you every time. So you don't need to play those type of games. So what I'd like to know is, what was your favorite game from when you were a kid, or like let's say maybe when you were younger, the favorite console you choose to play, the console you choose, whether it be Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Wii, Nintendo, DS. Hope you like the video, and as always, subscribe and blah blah blah. See you next time. Bye.